Hi guys, welcome to my channel Beauty with Katiba. If it's your first time here, hello and thanks for watching this video. Now this is a quick and easy contouring and highlighting routine. As somebody who wakes up around 6 o'clock in the morning, I don't really have the time to be using liquid and cream concealers and contouring products for highlighting my face and creating shadows and things like that. So I tend to focus more on using powders to do this sort of thing because it's quicker. It cuts out the time of having to put those cream products on or those liquid products and then set it with powders. So it's an easy and simple look. So as you can see, it's something that you can wear out during the daytime. You can wear to work, obviously, so you still get that flawless look and that highlighted look, but it's more of a natural look. So yeah, let's get on with it. See you in the video. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back. So my face is washed and moisturized, and I've already applied my Lancome Teint Idole and Urban Decay All Nighter foundations. I'll be showing you the main products as I go, but I've also included them in the description box below. Just so you know, the products I'll be showing today I use as my basic everyday makeup as well as the brushes. So, taking the Coastal Scents buffer brush and the collection pressed powder in Misty Beige, I set the foundation on the center of my face, chin and forehead. The powder is only a couple of shades lighter than my skin tone for a more natural highlight. Both the Lancome and Urban Decay foundations are medium to full coverage and are buildable, so they cover my blemishes really well. You really don't need to apply too much of either. However, the Lancome Teint Idole leaves you with a slightly dewier skin, whereas the Urban Decay is matte. I therefore wouldn't recommend the Urban Decay for someone that has flaky dry skin, unless you exfoliate really well. But I think they're both wonderful foundations for people with normal dry skin like myself. If you'd like me to do a tutorial on how I apply both foundations and a full review on them, comment down below. By the way, I don't use a primer on my face, but I always apply sunscreen and a good quality moisturizer with a thick consistency. For my routine, it's essential that my skin is well moisturized, as I'm using mostly powders and foundations that set matte. Having applied my highlight powder, I'm going to take another buffer brush by Coastal Scents and my Ben 9 Luxury powder in Topaz, which is a yellowy brown powder with gold and bronze undertones, and focus its application around the parameters of my face and where you would usually apply the contour. That's my temples, my lower cheek, the top of my forehead and my jawline. Both powders I've used apply smoothly and blend into each other well. The collection pressed powder, however, can settle into my fine lines underneath my eyes, but this usually only happens when the foundation is too thin. So let's talk a little bit about brushes. When it comes to the brushes I like to use, I'm focused mostly on how well they blend, their density and how firm or soft they are. The buffer brush by Coastal Scents is perfect, because not only is it dense and firm, but it's also not too soft or scratchy on the skin. When setting your foundation, you want to push the powder in so it lasts longer. You therefore don't want the brush to be too soft and fluffy, as most of the powder will just fly everywhere. The buffer brush is perfect for applying setting powders, as it's sturdy and pushes the powders in, allowing you to work quickly with the brush. The harder and firmer the bristles on the brushes are, the harder it is to blend with. For me, these types of brushes are best suited for pushing products in. Taking the buffer brush I used to apply my highlight powder, but without any powders on it, I make sure the collection and Ben 9 powders are blended well into each other, so there are no harsh lines. As you can see, the powders don't cake or crease, and for me they last all day without having to reapply. Setting my foundation like this means that it doesn't budge all day. At this point you can do the rest of your makeup if you want your contour to be very subtle. However, I want to enhance it a little more. So taking my tapered highlighter brush by Sigma and my Covergirl bronzer in Ebony Bronze, I contour my temples, higher points of my forehead and my chin. This bronzer is my go-to contouring product for my face because it's perfect for my skin's undertone. As the bronzer is a warm brown, it enhances not only my deeper skin colour but my yellow undertones. I think this bronzer will look gorgeous on olive and tan skin as well. For your day-to-day makeup, you want to focus on the colours that enhance your undertones. This bronzer is very pigmented, so a little goes a long way. Here I swapped the Sigma brush for the e.l.f. small tapered brush, only because it wasn't picking up as much of the bronzer as I would like. However, both are great for blending as their bristles are domed and rounded, so diffuse the products easier. As it is fluffier and softer, I actually do prefer the Sigma brush for blending my powders, as it transfers them onto my skin smoother. This duo right here, the bronzer with the Sigma brush, blends like a dream. When applying the bronzer, I move the brush in a circular motion to blend it out as I go. This reduces the harshness of the contour and diffuses it at the same time. With contouring, you really have to assess the size and shape of your face. You don't want to unbalance its proportions by contouring in all the usual areas. So for instance, if your forehead is already narrow, you don't want to make it even smaller by contouring your temples. You might just want to contour or bronze slightly at the top, really close to your hairline. I'm now going to use my Sigma tapered blending brush, personally my favourite brush and one of my holy grail brushes. It's a must-have, along with my black Radiance pressed powder in rich mahogany, which is a cooler brown than the Covergirl bronzer, to contour my nose. I will speak a little about the Sigma brush later, but here I'm contouring my nose not to reduce its size, as you can see it's already small, but to give it more definition and structure on the bridge, where my nose is flatter and its shape less defined. To accentuate its shape, I outline and blend out the outline, so it's not a sharp thin line down the side of my nose, but more like a natural shadow, which is what a contour is. Always take the contour for the nose all the way up to your eyebrows and blend as you go. As I mentioned earlier, blending out your powders in a circular motion as you apply them is key to making your makeup flawless and cohesive. This is because the colours blend into each other better, therefore you avoid any harsh unnatural lines. To contour my cheeks, I'm going to use the e.l.f. small tapered brush and the black Radiance pressed powder used to contour my nose. I want my cheekbones to be more prominent, so I'm just going to apply the powder where I can see a slight shadow underneath my cheekbones. If you can't see this on your face, you can roll your makeup brush down your cheeks to where your cheekbone stops. You just want to do soft light strokes. No need to be heavy-handed with this product, as it can be intense. You want to build it up gradually so you can gauge and control the intensity. To soften my face, I take the contour further down and round it off so there's more of my cheek for me to apply blush to. The e.l.f. blush brush I would recommend to anyone, especially makeup beginners, for contouring the cheeks. It gives you more precision when making light strokes due to how slender it is. You can really focus where you want the contour to go. Also, the bristles in the middle, which are longer and gradually get shorter, makes it even easier to pick up and blend out your contour as you apply it. The longer bristles in the middle pick up the product, and the shorter bristles blends it out as it's applied. You therefore want to firstly place the tips of the bristles where the contour will be most intense, then blend. The quality of some of the brushes I have from e.l.f. are of a very good standard. Blendability wise, the e.l.f. blush brush in particular is just as good as a Sigma brush. However, the price difference is very different. A brush like this with Sigma can be 3 times the amount, if not more. One thing I'll change about the e.l.f. blush brush is the handle. It's comfortable and easy to manage, but I feel lengthwise it doesn't need to be so long. For me to have the control that I want and the application that I want, I have to hold it further up, and looking for the correct point can be a little tedious. But apart from that, I love the brush and would recommend it as the perfect shape and density to get in those hollows. Overall, I think when it comes to contouring and highlighting, something you do possibly every time you apply makeup, you don't need expensive products. The drugstore powders I've used today by Covergirl, Ebony and Collection are very affordable. They apply smoothly and blend out easily. This is makeup I wear Monday to Friday for work, and I prefer to splurge more on a good quality foundation as I'm out of the house at least 11 hours a day on my way to work and at work, and it needs to last at least that length of time. I get compliments and questions on a £3 setting powder, which is how much the collection powder is. Yes, £3. Good makeup is good makeup no matter the price tag. As long as its application is flawless, it doesn't really matter how much it costs. So let me know down below what products you like to splurge on and why. When it comes down to the crunch, how much are you really willing to blow on a single product? Finally, to complete the whole look, I'm going to take the MAC tappet blending brush and one of my favourite highlighters, which has sadly been discontinued, the Sleek Face and Body Highlighter in Bronze Baby, to highlight the high points of my face where the light naturally hits or where I want to draw attention to, so the tip and the bridge of my nose, my chin and also my forehead. For my everyday natural makeup, I love this highlighter as it's subtle and blends really well with the rest of my makeup. Also, as it's a light golden peach colour, it enhances the yellow golden undertones of my makeup. When highlighting for a day-to-day look, I tend to focus on my nose, chin and forehead. I rarely, if at all, highlight my cheeks as I want the focus to be solely on the centre of my face and my features. When highlighting and contouring my nose, I follow its natural shape. So my highlight is more of a triangular shape at the top and not a straight line, as I find that looks slightly unnatural. Then a straight line down the bridge and then slightly wider on the tip of my nose. The MAC tappet blending brush is the ideal size for applying the highlight down my nose, as it's slender, aligned for more precision and control while blending out the product at the same time. The Sigma tappet blending brush is very similar and a dupe to the MAC brush, but is wider, so I prefer that for applying and blending out the contour powder, as that covers a wider area than the highlight, and also for blending out eyeshadows. Both brushes blend out powders smoothly and don't shed. I do have a few Sigma brushes and they rarely shed on me, so Sigma brushes are my gold standard that I compare other brushes to. My e.l.f. brushes are also surprisingly the same, taking into consideration their price point, but definitely are not always as soft or blend as smoothly as my Sigma brushes. Lastly, to get the pretty daytime glow and for my makeup to settle better into my skin, I spritz my face with the NYX Dewy setting spray. I prefer the dewy look for my skin and usually would not use a spray, as the natural oils that seep out during the day, which really isn't that much, will give me that finish. Personally, I find that the NYX setting spray can be drying for my skin, as it can cause that tightening of the skin, which I don't like. So I'm now looking for other sprays to try, such as the Pixie Glow Mist, which I've heard a lot of good things about. So comment down below whether you've tried it and if it's a yes or a pass. If you'd like me to do a review on it, post a flag emoji of the country you live in below. Well guys, that's the end of this video. Hope it was helpful and you enjoyed it. If yes, subscribe, like and share it with someone else it might help. Thanks for watching and catch you in my next video. Bye!